India and Canada have expelled each other's top envoys along with other diplomats. It comes after Justin Trudeau's government accused India's ambassador and other agents of homicide and other acts on Canadian soil.
And finally, passengers traveling from Canada to India are now facing stricter security screenings.
The latest incident is from Canada. Yesterday, 2 temples were attacked, the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton, near the city of Toronto, and the Lakshmi Narayan Temple in Surrey, near Vancouver.
Okay, so Jai Hind everyone. I, Aditya Verma, welcome you all to the SSB geopolitical series of Defense Mavericks. And आज we are going to talk about India-Canada relations, जो कि अभी बहुत heated up topic चल रहा है. And obviously we'll be talking about the Khalistan issue because India-Canada relations cannot be seen in isolation. Khalistan issue is a very integral part of it. ठीक है? So without wasting any time, let's get started. We'll start with the history. और history क्यों? We'll understand. 1857 का जब revolt होता है तो उस time पे the Sikhs that were there, they did not participate much in the revolt. Okay. And what was the reasons? Sikhs had their own reason. The reasons were first कि 1857 के revolt में जो head थे, he was a Mughal emperor. Okay. And Sikhs were totally against the Mughals. Okay, because they burned their gurus, they did a lot of tortures to them. So Sikhs were totally against any Mughal head for the revolt. Second, इस रिवोल्ट में जो मोस्ट ऑफ द सोल्जर्स पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे थे वो पूर्बियास थे. पूर्बियास का मतलब क्या? दे वर बिलोंगिंग फ्रॉम द रीजन्स ऑफ बिहार, झारखंड, बंगाल, यूपी. ओके. एंड बेसिकली दीज वर द सोल्जर्स हु हेल्प्ड द ब्रिटिश इन द एंग्लो सिख वॉर टू कैप्चर द सिख टेरिटरी. ओके. तो एक तरीके से तो ये तो उनका दुश्मन हो गए ना. एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे वर नॉट पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन दिस रिवोल्ट. ऑलराइट. नाउ दिस डिड व्हाट? This made the Sikh regiment, okay, favorable to the British. That okay, Sikh regiment is good and loyal to the British. Okay. Now don't get it wrong because there were a lot of regiments like even the Gurkhas, at some places Marathas, okay, that were loyal to the British at some point of time. Okay. So इससे हम जज नहीं करेंगे कभी भी regiments को. Today they are a very integral part of India. Alright, but at different scenarios the circumstances were different. तो जो आपके ब्रिटिश के लॉयल रेजिमेंट्स होते थे उन्हें अप रैंक या मार्शल स्टेटस दे दिया जाता था एंड दीज सोल्जर्स हु रिवोल्टेड वर गिवन नॉन मार्शल स्टेटस. ओके. तो सिक्स का आपका कह सकते हैं इंपॉर्टेंस बढ़ गया इन द ब्रिटिश इंडियन आर्मी. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट 1897 में जब क्वीन विक्टोरिया का डायमंड जुबली सेलिब्रेशन चल रहा था तो the soldiers from the Sikh regiment first went to England, but while returning from England they went to Canada. Okay. और Canada में again then from Canada they came back to India. But once they went to Canada ना तो उन्हें Canada बहुत पसंद आया. Okay. After seeing Canada and how Canadian people lives and the freedoms that they enjoy, the soldiers who went there, they loved Canada. And they thought that we should let our people also go to Canada. They came back, they told their people about Canada कि ये बहुत अच्छी जगह है, there are a lot of work opportunities there, so we can go there. And slowly then what happened? The Indian migration to Canada started and mainly it was specific to this region only because इसी region के लोग जानते थे यहाँ पे. Alright. Now this created a problem for the Canadians, the local Canadians. What problem? Canada was a developing country. Okay. So obviously it required laborers. So the Canadian people who are working there, they were getting hefty amount of money. But when the Sikhs started arriving at that place, so even for less amount of money, they were doing more work. Okay. Although this money was less compared to the Canadians, but still it was a lot in comparison to what they were getting in India. This was having a lot of money. So Sikhs liked it absolutely, but these people did not like it. Okay. Now Sikhs were very happy. We are getting a lot of money and let's then call more and more people. But these people started growing resentment against the Sikhs. And therefore, some laws were passed in Canada. जैसे क्या? Here it is written Hindus, but actually Hindus were referred to each and every Indian who was coming, okay, throughout the world. So Hindus means Indians. So Hindus may not vote in Vancouver. First of all, क्या किया गया? The angry Canadians took away the voting rights of the immigrants who were coming. Okay. Then slowly the immigration laws were also made very stringent कि कैसे immigration को रोका जाए, how the immigration should be stopped. And one of the very famous incidents is the Komagatomaru incident, okay, which was a Japanese ship carrying a lot of Sikh people also, which was made to return from Canada. It came to Canada और 2 months तक उसे वहीं पर डॉक करके रखा गया. They were not allowed to step into Canada. Okay. And this created a lot of humanitarian crisis, food problem, water problem, weather problem. Okay. Then they were sent back, and after going back again, थोड़े clashes हुए, बहुत लोग के deaths भी हो गए थे इसमें. And that therefore this became a big news at that time. Okay. So this is what we are seeing historically. Then some other historical things that are related to Canada is the Gadar movement or the Gadar party, which was founded by mainly Lala Hardayal and बाबा सोहन सिंह भखरा. ओके, इन लोगों ने इसे फाउंड किया था और ये मेनली कनाडा और यूएसए से ऑपरेट करता था. ठीक है. इट फॉर्म द पैरेलल गवर्नमेंट विच इज कॉल्ड एज गदर पार्टी, विच डिसाइडेड टू स्ट्राइक द ब्रिटिश ड्यूरिंग द वर्ल्ड वॉर वन. They thought that this is the time when the British is weak and this is the right time to strike them. Okay, so this is also one of the things where Canada was involved in our history. उसके बाद क्या होता है? After the independence in the year 1968, Pierre Trudeau, who is the father of the current Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he came and he was a member of a liberal party. Okay, तो इन्होंने क्या किया? इन्होंने इमिग्रेशन लॉज को लिबरलाइज कर दिया and it allowed the immigration into Canada because Canada needed immigrants. Okay, and Sikhs were obviously looking for that opportunity. So if you can see that suddenly the number of people, or especially the number of Sikhs who were going to Canada, it increased. Why Sikhs only? Because as I told, the Sikh regiment that went back, they told about the, Canada place, Canada in their region. So were restricted tha us area. Other people did not know much about Canada. Alright. So this number started to increase significantly after Pierre Trudeau's government. Then what happened? Sikhs का वहाँ पे prominence बढ़ना शुरू हुआ mainly in the British Columbia region and the Ontario region. आज के टाइम पे भी Sikhs are mostly in these places. They started building the Gurudwaras and the Sikhs were remaining as a very united community. Okay, in these regions they were concentrated, although they are only about 2% of the population of Canada. Okay, but still they were very united, and therefore they started becoming politically richer also. Political richer kaise? Because their united votes started to decide that who is going to come to power. For example, this time also when the elections happened, Justin Trudeau did not get a clear majority. He needed the support of someone. And then came the NDP, the National Democratic Party of Canada, who was headed by Jagmeet Singh, okay, which gave their support to Justin Trudeau, and that's how Justin Trudeau became the PM this time. Okay, so Sikhs started a very significant role in the Canadian politics as well. Okay, and therefore we see the influence जो Sikhs का है on Canada, right? Because they are a very united community through the Gurudwaras at that place. Okay, अब होता क्या है recent issue में? There was a man who was a Khalistani supporter named Hardeep Singh Nijjar. He was killed recently in an attack. And what Justin Trudeau did was that he deliberately or straight away blamed India, that India has killed Nijjar. Okay, he straight away made these allegations. But बाद में he only said that there is no hard proof. Okay. Against the statement that he made India regarding the Niger killing. So he made a mockery of himself only. But this led to the further tensions that is currently there in the India and Canada politics. For example, India and Canada expelled their top diplomats over the murder accusations. Okay. Then Canada, changed its visa policies that were mainly aimed at Indians and Sikhs only who were coming to Canada. Right. So all these led to the increasing tension in the current geopolitical sphere. So this is how we saw the historical aspects of the Sikh community that was there with the India-Canada relations. Although there is one more thing that during the year 1974, Operation Smiling Buddha that happened. Okay, the first nuclear test that India did. उस time पे भी Canada raised objections. What was their objections? That basically India used the Canadian technology and the raw materials and misused it. They said कि उन्हें दूसरे चीजों के लिए use किया जाएगा, but they used it for nuclear program. Alright, so these are some of the things in which Canada was involved. So now Khalistan issue क्या है? And how is it related and how is it has become so significant now? That is something we are going to see. And again, we'll see a little bit of history. So the Sikh empire that was there, which was under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, it was not much touched by the British. But soon after the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, British ने क्या किया? जाके इसे occupy कर लिया. And obviously the Anglo-Sikh war happened, and in this Anglo-Sikh war mostly the Bihari and the Purvi, UP soldiers were there, and that's why the resentment of Punjabis against these people were also there. तो जब ये प्लेस कैप्चर हो गया, उसके बाद क्या होता है, उन्होंने इसे एक पंजाब प्रोविंस बना दिया. Okay, which was a British territory. So this was changed into the Punjab province, later on which got divided after the partition in the year 1947. Okay, this was a province that was there, and it also included the areas of current day Himachal Pradesh and Haryana. If you can see, Sikh Empire का वो part नहीं था, but these Hindi speaking regions of Himachal Pradesh and Haryana, these were also included in the Punjab province. Alright, after the British captured it. Then एक और चीज होती है कि इस जगह पे द गुरुद्वारास दैट वर देयर, ओके, आफ्टर द सिख लीडरशिप एंड द सिख एम्पायर एंडेड, दे वर बीइंग रन बाय द महंत्स, एंड दिस महंत्स वर बेसिकली ब्रिटिश सपोर्टर्स. तो बेसिकली इस चीज के अगेंस्ट में सिख ने एक मूवमेंट स्टार्ट की जिसे कहते हैं द अकाली मूवमेंट. ओके, अकाली मूवमेंट उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया कि इन महंतों का डोमिनेंस शुड बी रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम दिस. And based on it, what the British did, what they passed the Government of India Act 1919, the Montague-Chelmsford reforms, and the separate electorates, which led to the formation of Muslim League. Okay, the same separate electorates were also given to the Sikhs because of the Akali movement. Okay, again the divide and rule thing. Because of it, 1920 के ईयर में उन्होंने शिरोमणि गुरुद्वारा प्रबंधक कमेटी स्टार्ट की जिसे SGPC कहा जाता है. एंड टिल डेट they decide and vote among themselves that who is going to be the president, who is going to run the gurudwaras, etc. Even at the Akal Takht and Golden Temple. And the formation of the Shiromani Akali Dal for the political representation of Sikhs in the government started from here. Okay. Alright. Then came the year 1946-1947 when the plans of partition were on the thing. अब हुआ क्या at this place? That when Sikhs got to know that the Muslims are demanding for their separate homeland as a Muslim homeland as Pakistan, and that Punjab, their area in which they mostly used to live, is going to be partitioned as well. So they also started asking for a separate Sikh homeland. Okay, they also started asking for a separate Sikh homeland, but this was very short-lived. Why? Because the Sikhs realized that they are hardly 1 to 2% of the Indian population. Okay, and therefore it is very difficult for them to get a Sikh homeland, a separate Sikh homeland. So still they were asking for a autonomous territory, at least a Sikh territory. हमें एक Sikh territory तो दे दी जाए. And Jawaharlal Nehru promised that okay, we will cater to these demands. Alright, but nothing of such sort happened. See, just like it is given there that NCPC passed a resolution calling for a separate Sikh state. Alright. Then the partition happened, and a lot of Sikhs who were living in these regions, they had to come and migrate to the Indian region because they were given only three choices, that is convert, die, or leave by Pakistan. And you convert to Islam, you die here, or you leave the place. So most of them, many of them converted also, many of them faced the death, and most of them left the place. If you have seen the movie Bhag Milkha Bhag, they have shown it, very detail about that times, right? You can watch that for a better understanding of the time. Okay, so this was obviously a very hard time for the Sikhs because they were leaving their fertile lands. Also, a lot of their important religious places were also located in Pakistan. For example, the Kartarpur Sahib, okay, the place where the Guru Nanak ji lived his last days, for which we have the Kartarpur corridor between India and Pakistan, right? Now, the Punjab that was formed after the independence, that was not as was promised to the Sikhs. Why? Because it included the regions of Haryana as well as Himachal. But still, between the Punjab, they were given a small region called as Pepsu, but it did not remain much for long. In 1956, India came with something called as the States Reorganization Act, okay, in which the states were again divided on the based on language, but Punjabi speaking people did not get any state. Okay, there was not a state for the Punjabi speaking people because this was the Punjab in 1946, sorry, 1956. Himachal Pradesh was made a union territory, but Punjab still had Haryana and a lot of Himachal Pradesh to its place. So still there wasn't anything for the Punjabi speaking people. Okay. But then something called as the Punjabi Suba movement started by Master Tara Singh of Akali Dal, who asked for a separate Sikh state at least. And finally, the demand was met in the year 1966, and Punjab, or basically Haryana and Himachal Pradesh, the Hindi speaking states, were carved out, and Punjab was created as a Punjabi state, Punjabi speaking state. Okay. But still, there was a dispute, and that dispute was related to Chandigarh. Ki Chandigarh, which was the capital of Punjab, now it became the capital of Haryana and Punjab again. So this was also a matter of dispute between Haryana and Punjab. Alright. Then happened our 1971 war. 1971 war mein we did what? We divided Pakistan into two parts. Okay, Pakistan and Bangladesh. We carved out Bangladesh from Pakistan. And Pakistan did not like it at all. Pakistan bola badla leke rahega. Okay, main badla lega. And that revenge was through the balkanization of India through subversion. Subversion क्या होता है? Subversion is basically, understanding the enemies or some negative elements that are there and then empowering them. तो हमारे पाकिस्तान को दो जगह मिली, एक था पंजाब और एक था कश्मीर, right? Because Kashmir of the majority Muslim population and Punjab because of a non-Congress government, right? Akali Dal की government थी ना. Balkanization means breaking. Okay. So now this was the plan of Pakistan's revenge that they planned. Then 1973 में कुछ होता है that was called as the Anandpur Sahib resolution, and this is very very important क्योंकि जो खालिस्तान इशू है वो बार बार घूम फिर के इसी आनंदपुर साहिब रेजोल्यूशन पे आता है. Anandpur Sahib resolution talked about what? It talked about some of the issues that Punjab was facing. For example, the water from the rivers of Punjab should be first made available to the, Punjabi people. Alright, before redistributing it to other areas. पहले पंजाब को तो मिले. Water crisis का बहुत बड़ा problem था पंजाब में, the river and water crisis, because agriculture was the main thing in Punjab. Most of the people were farmers, right? Then Chandigarh, originally which was raised as the capital of Punjab, should be handed over to Punjab from Haryana. And Punjabi should be the first language. And promotion of Sikhism and Sikh values, reduction of intoxicant, better management of Gurudwaras, etc. These were the things that were mainly there in Anandpur Sahib resolution. But be sure that there was no mention of a separate Sikh nation. Yes, within Punjab they were asking for some extra grants, which is very normal to ask. But there was no mention of a separate Sikh nation in this Anandpur Sahib resolution, जो आज के टाइम पे बहुत कोट किया जाता है. Then enters Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, the game changer. खालिस्तान इशू में हमारे इसने क्या किया? He was basically a man who, was kind of a person who was roaming around here and there and gathering support for, Anandpur Sahib resolution के वाली चीज़ों को, Sikhism को promote करना, telling people about not to be indulged in drugs, violence, etc. These were the things that Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale was doing. So he was growing a little popular in Punjab region. Now, Congress saw a certain potential in this man. What was the potential? Congress को पता था कि Punjab mein there is a non-Congress government. So in order to split the Sikh votes from the Shiromani Akali Dal, let's use this person. Okay. So Congress started doing what? Congress started doing, Congress started basically supporting the candidates that were backed by Bhindranwale in the elections. Alright. And his political career started to move up. Alright. He started getting the support of Congress, and anything and everything he was doing that was backed by Congress. He was not arrested for anything. Okay. In fact, Congress gave the title of saint or sant to Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale also, in order to, basically make Shiromani Akali Dal weaker or split their votes so that Congress could come into power in Punjab. But what happened? That this person started getting out of hands. Okay. और इसका पहला बड़ा big move आता है against the Nirankari Sikhs. Now, Nirankari Sikhs were those Sikhs who believed that we can have gurus even now. Whereas the traditional Sikhs believed that no, the 10th Guru, who was Guru Gobind Singh, he was our final Guru and there could not be any Guru after it. Guru Granth Sahib ends here. But they believed that no, Gurus could be there even now. So this was not liked by Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale as well, and he was against it. So as a result, Nirankari Sikhs were, conducting a basically, program in which these people clashed together, which led to the killing of many people. Like 17 people were killed, 100 people were hurt in the clash at Amritsar. Alright. But even after this, Bhindranwale was not arrested. At the last, once he did what? That there was a MP called Lala Jagat Narayan. Okay. Lala Jagat Narayan was basically asking people to tell their Rajbhasha as Hindi. Okay, when the census was being conducted in the year 1781. But Bhindranwale said that no, you should tell it as Punjabi. But in his newspaper Punjab Kesari, Lala Jagat Singh was currently continuously telling these things. As a result, he got shot and he got killed. Now this outraged a lot of Hindus and a lot of other people as well, and the pressure on Congress increased that Bhindranwale should be jailed. After this, he was jailed after the killing of MP Jagat Narayan. Okay. But this basically then created what? This created a rift between Bhindranwale and Congress. Now Congress, who was still now using this man turned against Congress. And till this time, Bhindranwale has garnered a lot of support in Punjab. Okay. Due to which Bhindranwale had to be released from the jail. Why? Because many people came to protest against his arrest. And the protest grew so much that ultimately Congress and the people had to release him. From this moment, as he was released, Bhindranwale's image and his, stature increased a lot in Punjab. Now, as his stature increased, now basically Shiromani Akali Dal saw potential in him to combat Congress. Now he is against Congress. So Congress enemy is our friend. So now Shiromani Akali Dal, shook hands with Bhindranwale and said that you come with us. And इन दोनों ने मिलके एक organization start किया जिसका नाम था धर्म युद्ध मोर्चा. And what was the objective of this Dharma Yuddha Morcha? The objective of this Dharma Yuddha Morcha was to implement the Anandpur Sahib resolution that was taken. इस नाम पे शुरू किया गया था. But then this Dharma Yuddha Morcha started other things as well. Like Darbara Singh के, Darbara Singh पे attack हुआ, who was the CM of that time. Alright. Then Khalistan men hijack the plane that was there to Lahore. Alright, and this was clearly explaining the Pakistani angle that was there. These people were clearly supported by Pakistan because, the subversion tactics that is that you identify a fringe element in the country and then you start supporting it. Then, Sikh terrorists killed 24 Hindu passengers in a bus that was coming from Amritsar to that place. Alright. Then they wanted कि जो Asian Games हो रहे थे 1982 के आसपास इंडिया में, वहां पे दिल्ली में जाके अपना स्पीच देना और आनंदपुर साहिब रेजोल्यूशन के बारे में बात करना. All these things were planned, because of which a lot of Sikhs were searched, a lot of Sikhs were उन पे सर्च किया गया, उनका बहुत इंसल्ट भी किया गया because of that time. Many army people also. And then these people, out of their resentment, started joining Bhindranwale as well. Even some of the army personnel joined him. Okay. and who trained the fighters for Bhindranwale. This basically created a lot of unrest in Punjab, and then Punjab was brought under the president's rule. अब ये प्रेसिडेंट रूल के अंदर पंजाब आ गया, तो भिंडरावाले नाउ थॉट नहीं, अब तो गवर्नमेंट रही नहीं अकाली दल की, तो नाउ आई शुड डू व्हाट, तो नाउ भिंडरावाले shifted his operating center to the Golden Temple and the Akal Takht. And this basically led to one of the bloodiest chapter in history, that is called as Operation Blue Star. तो ऑपरेशन ब्लू स्टार क्या था? अकॉर्डिंग टू ऑपरेशन ब्लू स्टार, ये भिंडरावाले एंड हिज टीम, बेसिकली बब्बर खालसा एंड एवरीवन हु वर देयर लोकेटेड इन गोल्डन टेम्पल, उन्हें वहां से निकालना होगा. एंड भिंडरावाले न्यू दिस वेरी वेल दैट the army or anyone will not dare to enter the golden temple, and that's why he was inside it. उसके बाद होता क्या है कि आर्मी प्लान करती है क्या कि वो अकाल तख्त और गोल्डन टेम्पल को सराउंड करेगी. उसके बाद सारा कम्युनिकेशन, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, वाटर, फूड सप्लाई, एवरीथिंग विल बी कट ऑफ फ्रॉम द टेम्पल, एंड देन आर्मी वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग अ सरेंडर इन फ्यू डेज. ऑलराइट, दिस वाज द प्लान ऑफ द आर्मी, क्योंकि उन्हें पता नहीं था दैट भिंडरावाले के लोग इतने ज्यादा आर्म्ड हैं. Right, they thought that they are not much armed, but the Bhindranwale people were, and his army was very strong. They were having a lot of weapons, grenades, everything. They were very well trained to fight. Right, and army was not expecting this. ऑपरेशन ब्लू स्टार के टाइम क्या हुआ, मेजर जनरल कुलदीप सिंह जो थे, मतलब उस टाइम पे ही वाज नॉट अ मेजर जनरल, ही रिटायर्ड एज मेजर जनरल कुलदीप सिंह ब्रार. ही सेड दैट मीडिया कवरेज शुड बी स्टॉप्ड ऑफ दिस प्लेस बिकॉज दिस इज अ वेरी सेंसिटिव इशू. But what happened? One of the person named Brahma Chalani, he somehow escaped the people, and he stayed there in Amritsar and he covered everything. All right, for a foreign press, and he reported that how the Sikhs are being targeted and killed by the army in Punjab. All right. Now this news spread like a wildfire, and people got to know that Golden Temple is being attacked. Because of it, what happened? Ki a lot of people started surrounding Amritsar, okay, and not normal people but armed people. When the planes and aviation group went for the search, they can see that a lot of people are coming and surrounding the Golden Temple, and they are coming towards Amritsar. So army became a little, hesitant. कि जो उन्होंने प्लान किया था that within some days the people will, after cutting off their supplies, they will come out. Ab they have to finish it very fast. Okay, as they said that it would have been useful to continue the siege for a few more days to smoke out at least part of the opposition, but we could not buy that luxury. Why? Because the key constraint was the growing mob violence around Amritsar and the whole area of Punjab. और इसीलिए अनफॉर्चुनेटली आर्मी एंड द गवर्नमेंट को एक डिसीजन लेना पड़ा, एंड दैट इज टू गो इनसाइड द गोल्डन टेम्पल एंड द अकाल तख्त. तो आर्मी हैज टू ब्रेक थ्रू, इट हैज टू ब्रेक इन, एंड इट हैज टू स्टार्ट अ वेरी डेडली फाइट. एक ऐसा डिसीजन लिया गया विच बेसिकली प्रूव टू बी वेरी फेटल फॉर एवरीवन. ओके, because of which the Golden Temple and the Akal Takht went under a huge damage. Ultimately, Bhindranwale and everyone was killed in Operation Blue Star, but it also damaged Akal Takht a lot. Now, these picture of Akal Takht, which is Akal Takht is the most holy shrine in Sikhism. जब ये pictures surface हुए, most of the Sikhs were very, very, very much hurt, and they were very, very angry. They could not tolerate this. Okay, that years of injustice that has been done to them, this was the height of it. इसके बाद obviously the political leadership that was there, such as Sant Longawal and Prakash Singh Badal, they were also arrested and put behind the bars, due to which there was a political vacuum, and now the militants started to occupy the places in spite of these leaders. And then, because Akal Takht was attacked, the Sikhs took a pledge that they are going to avenge it. They started killing the military people. A lot of military people also started killing each other and their commanders at some places. And the worst thing came was the assassination of Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi had some Sikh bodyguards with us, and the intelligence asked her to remove them. But she insisted on keeping them. Why? क्योंकि अच्छा मैसेज नहीं जाएगा. If at this time she is letting go of these Sikh people, so that will again, worsen the situation. That's what she thought. But उस डिसीजन से हुआ कि ultimately the two Sikh bodyguards that she had, they both killed her. And this was a very, very big shock to everyone. Now, this was followed by the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. पूरे दिल्ली कनॉट प्लेस पे हर जगह, the people started looting and killing Sikhs, and doing a lot of crimes with women, children, everyone looting their shops, torching the gurudwaras. Everything started in the 1984. It was a very, very, dark times in those region of Delhi and Punjab. And because of this, the resentment was growing and growing and growing. On top of that, in anti-Sikh riots के जो perpetrators थे, later they were even made MPs. Some of them were given, like aviation industry, etc. And they were उनके ऊपर कोई ऐसे खास charges नहीं लगाए गए. Nothing was done. So this fueled the insurgency that was already there. And at this time, many of the people who were going out of the country also, many Sikhs left the country at this time. ओके. और ये जो टाइम था, इस टाइम पे लोग जो बाहर जा रहे थे, दे वर वेरी वेरी एंग्री विद द इंडियन एस्टैब्लिशमेंट. ऑलराइट. In 1985, there was an attempt made by Rajiv Gandhi and Sant Longawal during a meeting, and they signed the Rajiv Longawal Pact that was there to, cater some of the demands of the Anandpur Sahib resolution. But the people who were the supporters of Bhindranwale, they did not like this. They thought that Akali Dal is again partnering with Congress, and as a result, Longawale was assassinated in 1985. After that, one organization named Babbar Khalsa, that was mainly based in Canada, they did a notorious thing, and that was Kanishka bombing. Kanishka was the name of Air India Flight 182 that was carrying around 329 passengers, and mostly it was Indians. Babbar Khalsa announced in one of their things that Sikhs should not travel from this plane. They asked the Sikhs to avoid it, but at that time no one took them seriously that what they are going to do. Okay, they thought it as a boycott movement. But when the plane blasted mid-air and all the 329 people died, this was one of the biggest attack that was done by Babbar Khalsa, and it was declared as a terrorist organization. Right. And again, Canadian authorities did not, took these matters seriously, and as a result, they started operating from that place. Then after that, some of the supporters of Bhindranwale who were still there, they again went back to the Golden Temple in the years 1986 and 1988. Two attempts were made, and this time again Operation Black Thunder was launched. But in this Operation Black Thunder, the army was not involved, rather the police was involved, and it was ensured that the temple is not at all damaged. Alright. Then, what happened that after these events, the Khalistan movement started to decline a bit. वो नीचे जाने लगा. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे the main leadership, भिंडरावाले etc., they were all dead. And क्या हुआ कि the other extremists also were there. They were being eliminated by the government slowly. पाकिस्तान का जो इंटरेस्ट है वो पंजाब से कम हो गया, and it started shifting towards कश्मीर. पंजाब का पोटेंशियल अब उन्हें नहीं दिख रहा था, बट कश्मीर was becoming the new hotspot. तो पंजाब से भी जो इन्वेस्टमेंट और सपोर्ट मिल रहा था, पाकिस्तान से जो सपोर्ट मिल रहा था, that stopped, and slowly the movement fizzled out. Okay. But then 2019 में क्या होता है, that because of the removal of Article 370 and the Citizenship Amendment Acts, many of the things that were done, पाकिस्तान का जो कश्मीरी ड्रीम था, that got shaken very badly. Okay. And they again looked back at Punjab. क्यों? उन्हें एक नया मौका मिला after the farmers bill or the farm bills that came in 2020, which led to the farmers protest. Alright. तो पाकिस्तान को इसमें बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखी, एंड खालिस्तानी पीपल को भी इसमें बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखी, एंड दे हाईजैक्ड दीज प्रोटेस्ट्स. ऑलराइट. These protests were hijacked, and this was marking of the new beginning of the Khalistan movement, which has again gained traction in the recent times. Alright. इसके बाद और क्या होता है? Canada came in support in that, like Justin Trudeau said that the farm laws that were there, it was unjust, and he also backed the farmer protests, right? After that, some other things that happened was like one of the person named Deep Sandhu. he made an organization called as Varis Punjab De, all right, which sprouted out of the farmers' protest only. But before the Punjab elections, he died in a road accident, after which his place was taken over by Amritpalsingh, who came from Dubai. And many people started seeing him as the successor of Bhindranwale, also because probably because of his looks as well. All right. So these were some of the recent developments in the Khalistan issue. Also, some other things that we saw was like the pro-Khalistani conflict happened, and some temples were attacked in Canada. Then the protesters also took down the tricolor at the Indian High Commission in London. And this person, Gurpawan Singh Pannu, he gives certain threats to the people. And the other things that we saw in the beginning of the video about the India-Canada relations worsening, and they calling off their diplomats, revising the visa policies, etc. So together, अगर देखा जाए तो this is how the India-Canada relations are related and how its history is rooted in the Khalistan movement. So that's it from my side. I hope I have covered all the points that were necessary. So you keep watching these stuffs and you keep taking the stuffs that are there, and watch our other videos as well. Subscribe to our channel to get more contents like this on geopolitics and history of India. We also bring content about the SSB knowledge series and the service related information. We are also going to bring current affairs and a lot of lecturate and GV topics as well. So stay connected with us, subscribe, and Jai Hind to all. Thank you for watching.